Selling your house is not complicated, but it is complex and it is a big deal with a lot of variables. For most people, your house is your most important, your most valuable, and your most expensive asset. So it's crucial that you have the right tools and information to make the right decisions when it comes to selling your home. In this series, we're going to go over just that. We're going to start from the time you decide, okay, I think it might be time to put my house on the market, to when you actually put your house on the market. While you think it may be a short and easy period during that time frame, it's actually a little more complex if you're going to do it the right way. And we're going to take you through that. Okay, so you've made the decision that you want to explore selling your home. What next? Where do you start? What's the next part of this whole process from getting your house, from deciding you want to sell your house to getting it on the market? I thought today I'd bring Jody Neubauer, our executive director of our listing division, on with me to talk about this because he's got extensive experience helping people make that decision, or at least getting them pointed in the right direction to get them to the next steps. So the first thing we always tell people is all right, you've decided, okay, I'm interested in selling my home. Now it's time to make a list of reasons why, because obviously if you're not going to sell your home unless there's a reason why you're going to sell it, and questions you may have about selling your home or about specifics related to selling your home. So Jody, what are some basic examples of reasons and questions people have about their home?
Thanks, John. So a lot of, many of the reasons can boil down to anything from upsizing to downsizing. You could have a divorce situation. Somebody may have passed in your family. And so there's various reasons that you may need to sell. A lot of the questions that come up are, what's a good time to sell? What do I need to do? There's a lot of questions that people have, and I think before they reach out to an agent, they try to solve all of this on their own. So I think it's pretty important to reach out to an agent to kind of help you guide your way through these next steps that we'll discuss.
Right. So write them all down, think about your motivations, then discuss them with your agent. But it's important that you start coming up with specific reasons why you're going to sell your home, and obviously questions as well. Okay, so you've done that. You've got your motivation down. You've figured that out. Okay, now what? All right, so our recommendation is at that point you need to start researching real estate agents. Even if you think you're going to sell your house yourself as a for sale by owner, we always recommend consulting a real estate agent just in case there's something you missed or that you don't know about. Always a good idea to consult a professional. When I say professional, that's where the research comes in. You need to start by searching to find credible real estate agents with experience and knowledge to make sure that you're getting pointed in the right direction and you're getting the right advice. So a couple tips. First things first, Google. It's the best tool you've got to deciding which real estate agent you should pick or talk to, or real estate agents if you're going to interview several. The easy thing, just start looking at reviews. I think online reviews on Google are the easiest and fastest way to figure out how experienced and how credible a real estate agent is. Start reading some of the reviews, seeing what they say. How many reviews do they have? And what are the details of them? All important. Spend the time to do that. Read the 5 stars. Even if there's some 1 stars, read those as well and see what the responses from the realtor is. All of that will help you. Also, check out their social media accounts. Like what kind of content are they putting out there? Is it good? Is it generic? Is it interesting? That will give you some indication of what kind of marketing that they do. So we recommend checking them out on social because eventually that's going to be where they're going to be marketing your house, probably most likely. And it gives you some idea where they are in terms of technology and understanding in 2022 how to present things and put together content. So Jody, we've got that figured out. Now we got our agent. We are interested in taking that next step. So the next thing that we recommend is the home evaluation. Now the home evaluation is a crucial part. Obviously, it's the first step towards figuring out what's my house worth. Now this is where Jody's expertise comes in because he has years of experience doing research and providing values and providing that guidance for people using the market. Now, what we don't recommend is going online and trying to figure that out. We recommend contacting an agent like the Home Marketing Group and talking to somebody like Jody and getting an in-depth analysis. So Jody, take us through a little bit about what you do to come up with a home evaluation that makes sense.
So basically there's 2 types, and it kind of depends on where you're at in the process. And I do recommend meeting with somebody at the home. You're going to get a more accurate read on your evaluation versus if you do something online, or even if we do a phone consultation, there's only so much information we can give you to kind of narrow down that price on the home. So it's good maybe to do that if you're a year out or 6 months out before you're thinking about putting it on the house or putting it on the market. But if you are close, you definitely want to have an agent come out there. And basically what we do is, excuse me, we look at many different levels of research. You've got, we look at a radius that's going on in the, usually about a 2-mile radius of the property. We look at zip code sales. We also look at neighborhood sales, obviously. A lot of those, that information is all pulled together. So statistically, before we meet with you, we have a pretty decent idea of what things are selling for, how quickly they're selling for. And that way, when the agent meets with you at the house, they definitely will be able to narrow down that information for you. And also looking at the comps and having a better idea what the inside of your house looks like, so they can kind of get a better idea of the house.
Right, exactly. And so Jody's going in depth with that to another level. Whereas if you go on Zillow and get a Zestimate, for example, they're just taking numbers, aggregating them together, and putting them into an algorithm and spitting out a value. May or may not be accurate. Jody goes in and figures out what comparable sales and listings actually are relevant to your house to make sure that you're getting top dollar and you're putting your house on the market for the right price. So all of that is crucially important. If you're not doing that in the initial process, I think you're selling yourself short. And obviously we can do that for you. And our expert here will be that person that will help you understand that initial value of that property. Okay, so now that we've got that figured out, Jody mentioned it earlier, scheduling that consultation. That's the time, even like I said, even if you're going to be doing a for sale by owner, considering it, time to schedule a time with an agent to come to the house, go over the property, a walkthrough, and decide at that point, again, like where are we going with this? I think that's super important. And then in that consultation, Jody, what are we doing? We're coming up with a game plan, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, you're meeting. I would definitely, and I would do it sooner than later. Even if you're a year out, you can definitely, there may be things that you need to ask about the home, what to do, what not to do. And we can also watch the market for you. If it starts to take a turn and things are getting maybe a little bit more difficult to sell on the market, then we can reach out to you prior to that too. So it's, I definitely recommend meeting sooner than later.
Right. So it all goes back to your motivation. The game plan is centered around why you're selling. So it's important that we keep that at the forefront of everything that we do, and everything that you do is remember why you're selling. So that's what that game plan is going to be, and that's what that consultation is for. In that consultation, we're also going to talk about where you're going. Where are you moving to? That's also a big part of it. Are you moving somewhere in town? Are you moving somewhere out of state? Are you moving to the next town over? What are you doing? Let's get you also situated, not only just for selling your house, but figuring out a game plan for the next steps. So we're going to take you in the next episode to actually, in that consultation, some of the other things we're going to be talking about and moving forward to getting your house on the market. Thanks, Jody.
No problem. Thanks, John.
Thank you.